We're good. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so get your questions ready. What is up with this truck? This is my 79 F-150. I rebuilt this thing basically from the ground up years and years ago. And I kept it since. It used to have a Windsor in it, I believe. Then afterwards I did all the mods to put a 460 in it. It was kind of cool. And then afterwards I was like, you know what, I want a bit more power. So I took that 460, bore and stroked it to a 502, put a whole bunch of goodies on there. It was super expensive. And then the thing ended up pumping out, it was 702 horse at 6,200, 690 and change torque in the mid 5,000, somewhere around there. I'll try to find the dyno sheets and I'll put them in this video there, but no guarantees. Anyways, yeah, so I put this engine, I heard it run on the dyno, slapped it in here, never heard it run in the truck, ever. It was just in here and that's it. I had some stuff come up, unfortunately I had to push it outside and then I just never got back to it. This is 2 or 3 years now. It's been a while. So what's my goals here? Obviously I want to put it back together. This thing is registered, it's on the road. The only problem is obviously there's some parts missing here, right? So a nice goal to start with would be to, at a very minimum, make a list, find a piece of cardboard. I'm going to steal that from the Roadkill guys. The Roadkill guys, love those dudes, and man, oh man, oh man, they have way bigger projects than this. So I'm going to take a page from their book here, write a list down on a big piece of cardboard, big pizza box, a beer box. Yeah, we'll start crossing stuff off as we get them done. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Keep in mind here, this is just to get it started, right? So the first thing I did when I brought it in here is I took the plug out of the oil pan because this thing's been sitting for so long, didn't have a carburetor on top, was missing a couple of the, like the oil pressure port in the back of the engine was open, didn't have a dipstick. So my first thought obviously is gonna be water in there. The smart thing I did though is I did put plastic wrap on top of the intake and then I put an engine plate or a lifting plate, whatever you want to call it, on top of that afterwards. So that covered it pretty good. Was there water in there? Oh yeah, there was water in there, but not enough to really worry me. So flushed the oil, a couple ounces came out, and then of water, sorry, then all the oil came out afterwards. Yeah, I'm gonna check a few things, obviously, check some plugs, for example. I'm gonna look in the oil pan just to make sure everything's tickety-boo down there. And then, yeah, we'll keep going. But for now, obviously you need to put some oil in there, very, very important. What I would like to do is to get the carb mounted in there. Like I said, by the way, a little list like this, make your list, cross it off as you go. This, for some reason, is super, super motivating. I do it on pretty much all my projects, especially when you get towards the end. And then like Mr. Freiberger would say, this is my new revised list. So partway through his project, he makes another list. Anyways. Bolt the carb on. Once the carb is on, we're gonna sort out the fuel situation. I got a fuel pump already mounted, not quite big enough. So I'm gonna swap that out and then we'll be good to go. Plug the oil ports, obviously it's a big one. Wire the MSD, so into the fender over there, we have an MSD system to fire up this beast, right? So when I had it running, I only had it running on the dyno. The dyno system kept this thing alive, right? So basically I just wanna finish wiring this quick. No key, no nothing. We're just gonna have a battery on the side and just make it work. We need a starter. I don't know if I have one. Kind of a problem to have. We'll do some stuff. The oil is gonna be the last thing I'm going to do. A, because I don't have any here, and B, because I don't have any here. A little reluctant to do this, but I have to find out. So I'm gonna see right now if this thing even still turns over. Whew. How I'm doing this is I'm simply going to grab the bolt in the front of the crank here, right? You can either go through here, you can go through the flywheel. The flywheel, you would just kind of pry it with a screwdriver and get it to turn, but in this case, I'm just going to grab it here and make sure everything rotates nice and freely. It should be pretty hard though, this thing has a lot of compression, but I'm scared. Okay. Oh my God, and it's seized. That is not good. Yep, seized solid. Yeah, yeah, that's happening right now. Yep, this guy right here got watered it. Well, lifted up the intake. Obviously, I was expecting this area to be covered in rust back there, but it's fine. When I removed one of the spark plugs, I noticed this. Now everybody knows that's a terrible sign. That's the only one that was like this. And then when I looked at that matching cylinder, so we look in that port, look what we can see back there. Gross. All right, so where does that leave us? Whew, yeah, that's a hard question. That's a really hard question. I think what I'm gonna do is what I've done multiple times in the past. I just really hate doing it on a brand new engine. I'm gonna fill the cylinder full of diesel. The problem I'm gonna have is the rings are probably gonna pack up full of rust if they're not already rusted, completely destroyed in there. That cylinder skirt's probably destroyed as well. So I got two options. Either I do what I just said, or take this thing completely apart, remachine the whole thing, and put it back together. I think I'm gonna do my first option. So we're gonna put some diesel in there. We'll let it sit for a little bit and see how she goes, and then we'll just monitor that cylinder. We'll try to turn it in reverse first. I know it's gonna sound a little stupid, but to try to pull the rings away from where it is, right? Yeah, let's party on. Okay, so a few hours later here, I just doused everything in diesel to kind of help it out. And yeah, we're gonna see if that did anything. So, oh, she's a little tight. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. Oh geez, we're making a hella mess with the diesel back here. Whew. All right, we're on to something here. We are on to something. Yes, yes. See if there's any rust or anything going on, but no, everything, the cam lobes are perfect. The lifters look perfect. Keep an eye on those back ones because I have a feeling that's where the water was the most. Nice. All right, so that didn't go too bad. The only thing I'm worried about right now is that back cam bearing, because that's where this port is. Basically, the oil bypasses that cam bearing, comes up and gives you your oil pressure. if I'm not mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's how that one works. I'm gonna do something else too. Before I go full bananas on this, I think I'm gonna pull the timing cover off, and I'm going to put myself in focus. Oh, hoorah. Okay, so I had an issue with this. The engine builders that are watching this are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Fuel, we're talking about gasoline here, right? So when we have gasoline, the octane that's in the pumps, let me rephrase that. The fuel you're gonna put in here is gonna dictate how much power you're gonna make or how much compression you're gonna make, right? So up where we are, the best fuel I can find here is 91 octane. So I built this thing at, I'd have to look at my specs again, I kind of forgot, but it was around the 10-to-1 static and 8.3, 8.4 dynamic. So when we had this thing on the dyno, she was all right in the RPM, but she had a really hard time down at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I have an adjustable bottom gear on this. I'm gonna retard the cam 2 degrees just to change the IVC a little bit, and it'll change my dynamic compression. So I'm gonna try to bring the dynamic back down to like the 8.1s. I'm gonna do a little bit of math here when I get home, just to do the specs and all that. What we're gonna do right now, we're gonna let this one sit for a little bit. The next time you're gonna see this, we're gonna rip the front timing cover off, get all that done, put the intake back on. I'm not gonna say anything because last time I said something, I jinxed it. All right, guys. Thanks a million for coming to watch this again. I need your help though. I really need your help. I would love it if you guys would leave a comment and help me out pick a name for this thing. Oh my God. One of my close acquaintances here has kind of coined this thing Truckosaurus. I like it. Can it be better? Most likely, but that's what it's called for now. Leave a comment with what you think we should call this, oh, beautiful truck. Little friendly reminder to subscribe as always. And like I said, leave a comment, share this with your friends so you can help me get out there a little bit more. And yeah, no, we'll see you on the next one.